All right, let's just jump right in. We're looking at one of the biggest, most fundamental shifts in the creative world, maybe ever. I mean, if AI can spit out designs, content, even code for basically free, what is a designer actually worth? It's a massive question, and today we're going to break down a whole new playbook to answer it. You know, for decades, a designer's value was pretty clear. It was all about your craft, your skill, how well and how fast you could produce great work. But you have to wonder, is that whole era just over? Because let's be honest, the ground is shifting right under our feet. And this isn't some far-off science fiction future. This is right now. This quote says it all, really. The barrier to creating something that looks totally professional is just dissolving. It's happening way faster than anyone thought it would. And here's a story that makes this so real. It's not a theory, it's something that actually happened. A CEO of a shoe company, not a tech person, not a designer, is sitting in an airport waiting for a flight and just generates professional marketing images on their phone. No photographer, no art director, no designer. This just shows you, plain and simple, that the physical output is not the unique thing we bring to the table anymore. And this all boils down to a core economic idea: zero marginal cost. Basically, once you've built an AI model, the cost to make one more logo, one more image, one more anything is practically nothing. And fields like design and software, because they're already digital, well, they're on the absolute front lines of this thing. They're feeling this wave first. So, that leads us to the big, scary, crucial question. If the what, the actual design, is becoming a commodity that anyone can generate, where does our value come from? What can we possibly offer that a machine can't? This is where we need a new strategy. Okay, so what do we do about it? Let's get into the new playbook. We're going to cover 4 huge strategies, and we'll start with the first 2. Think of these as the foundation for this new reality.
First up, strategy number 1. This is the most direct, most immediate thing you can do. It's all about leaning into the change, not trying to outrun it.
It sounds simple, right? Just get good at using the new tools. But it's absolutely critical. The market is still figuring all this stuff out, which means the person who can master these AI tools better than anyone else gets a massive advantage. It's about becoming the pilot, not getting replaced by the autopilot.
Now, the second strategy, this one goes a lot deeper. It's not about tools, it's about a fundamental shift in how we think about our own worth.
We literally have to shift our own center of gravity. For so long, our value was in the final artifact, right? The polished logo, the perfect UI. But now, the value is moving. It's moving to all the thinking, all the strategy, all the decisions that happen long before a single pixel gets placed. And you can see that shift so clearly here. We're moving away from the old focus on the how. How many screens did you design? How slick is the final polish? The new focus, where the real value is all about the why. Why are we building this in the first place? What's the business context? What are the strategic decisions behind it? That's the new center of gravity.
But here's the catch, and this is a big one. That strategic value, it doesn't just show up. You have to go get it. You have to proactively dive deep and really understand your customers, the business model, how your company even works, what's happening in the market. Most places aren't set up to teach designers this stuff. So the initiative, it's got to come from you.
All right, on to part 2 of the playbook. The first 2 strategies were about shoring up your foundation. These next 2, these are about looking outward. They're about building powerful systems and creating brand new opportunities out of thin air. Strategy number 3 is all about breaking out of the one-and-done project cycle. It's about building something that actually gets smarter and more valuable over time. So the key here is to stop thinking about your designs as the final product. Instead, think of them as an input into a bigger system. The question then becomes, how do we use the data and feedback from our work to create something that learns and improves all on its own? And the answer is something called a design data flywheel. It's a really simple loop when you think about it. 1, you put a design out there. 2, you capture user feedback in a structured way. And 3, you feed that learning back into the system to make the next design smarter. With AI, you can build this self-improving engine that makes your design intelligence grow and grow. It becomes this powerful, long-term asset that nobody can just replicate. And that takes us to the 4th and final strategy. And honestly, this might be the most exciting one of all, because it's not about reacting to the future. It's about actually creating it. This is what we call opportunity design. So instead of just taking a brief and solving a problem someone gives you, you start creating totally new possibilities. You take your unique design thinking, your empathy, your creativity, and you combine it with the raw power of new tech like AI to invent entirely new services, new products, even new markets.
I mean, just think about it for a second. A single designer can now do the work that used to take a whole production company. You, by yourself, could produce a cinematic quality ad, or build a fully functional new product from start to finish. This is about becoming what you might call a full-stack creator, and totally blowing up the old definition of what a designer is and what a designer can do.
So, we've walked through the 4 big strategies. But look, a playbook is useless if it just sits on the shelf. The only thing that matters now is putting it into action. So, what's your next move?
So let's just recap. Here's your new playbook, plain and simple. 1. Master the tools so you can win right now. 2. Shift your focus from the how to the strategic why. 3. Build data flywheels that create lasting value. And 4. Go out and create totally new markets.
This quote really just hammers it home. We have to stop. We have to stop designing the same way we always have. The old ways aren't just outdated, they're dangerous. Sticking with business as usual is the single biggest risk you can take right now. And that brings us to the final, most important point of all. Knowing these 4 strategies, that's great, but it's not enough. The real value, the real answer, lies in 2 words: execution and experimentation. You have to do something. So I'm going to leave you with that question. Don't just think about this. Don't just nod along. Pick one of these strategies and run a small experiment this week. Because in this new world, the winners aren't going to be the ones with all the answers. They're going to be the ones who are willing to ask the best questions and run the boldest experiments. So what's yours going to be?